Hi everyone, welcome back to Learn English in Minutes. I'm Stephanie and I'll be guiding you through today's lesson. If you're new to the channel, just a quick heads up. We release a fresh English lesson every single day to help you become more confident and improve your skills faster. For today's session, you'll be training both your listening and speaking. This is a full advanced fluency masterclass created to help you speak English in a clearer, more natural and more confident way in just 30 days. We'll work through practical, real-life situations and guided activities that will help you understand how English is naturally spoken, improve your sentence flow, and learn useful expressions that make you sound smooth and effortless. Whether you're talking about yourself, chatting casually, or explaining your ideas in detail, you'll learn how to think directly in English and speak without hesitation. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel more confident in your conversations, and you'll have a simple daily plan you can follow for the next 30 days to see real improvement in your fluency. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our lessons. Now get your pen and paper ready and let's begin. When people hear become fluent in 30 days, it often sounds difficult, like something only highly advanced learners can achieve. But here's the reality. Fluency isn't about learning thousands of new words in a short time. It's about using the words you already know effectively, with proper rhythm, clarity, and confidence. Today, I'll walk you through a step-by-step approach to train your brain, your speech, and your listening skills to work together every day for the next month. And honestly, you'll be surprised at how much you can improve. Let's begin with a key idea. Many people think fluency means speaking quickly, but that's a common mistake. Fluency is about speaking smoothly without long pauses, without struggling to find words, and being able to express your thoughts clearly, even if your pace is slow. So in this masterclass, our focus will be on clarity, flow, and confidence, not speed. Speed will naturally develop as you get more comfortable. Now picture your daily routine. You wake up, fix your bed, prepare your breakfast, and get ready for your day. These simple moments might seem unimportant, but they are actually great opportunities to practice English in real time. Instead of staying quiet, try speaking to yourself in English while doing these actions. For example, when you pour your coffee, you can say, "I'm pouring my coffee into the cup. It smells fresh and warm." It may seem very basic, but describing your actions helps your brain quickly connect thoughts and words in English. Let's practice together. I'll say a sentence and you repeat after me. Ready? I am brushing my teeth. Again, I am brushing my teeth. Now a little faster. I'm brushing my teeth. Did you notice the rhythm change? That's how we move from slow and clear speech to more natural, connected English. Every day, choose at least 5 simple actions and describe them in English while you're doing them. Another important part of becoming fluent in 30 days is practicing listening every day. But here's the important part. You need to listen actively, not just passively. That means you focus on how words are pronounced, the tone of the speaker, and where they pause. For example, if I say, "Could you pass me the salt, please?" Pay attention to how the voice slightly rises on "could you," and then gently falls at the end. Now repeat. "Could you pass me the salt, please?" Great. The more you become aware of these patterns, the more natural your speaking will sound. We'll also practice something called shadowing. This means you listen to a sentence and repeat it immediately, trying to copy the speaker's tone, speed, and pronunciation as closely as possible. Let's do a short shadowing exercise. I'll say the sentence slowly first, then at a normal speed, and you follow along. Follow along with me. I'm heading to the shop to get some bread. Slowly, I am heading to the shop to get some bread. Now at a natural pace. I'm heading to the shop to get some bread. This kind of practice helps your mouth get used to natural English sounds, and it's one of the quickest ways to improve your fluency. Here's your first task for today. For the next hour, try to think in English as much as you can. As you look around, name the things you see. When you plan what to do next, say it in English, either in your head or out loud if possible. Even short sentences are okay. The goal is to keep your brain in English mode, so it starts to feel natural throughout your day. And don't forget, Mistakes are not something to avoid. They actually help you learn. The only way to make zero mistakes is to stay quiet, but staying quiet won't make you fluent. Every time you speak, you improve. So during these 30 days, speak as often as you can. Even if you're unsure, that's okay. Confidence builds when you practice without fear. Let's do one more speaking exercise before we continue. I'll give you a short dialogue. Repeat after me, matching the tone and speed. Hi, how are you today? I'm doing well, thank you. And you? I'm great. Thanks for asking. Simple conversations like this are the foundation of everyday communication. The more you practice them, the more automatic they become. Now let's go a bit deeper. Being fluent isn't only about responding in the moment. It's also about being prepared. One powerful way to prepare is by memorizing useful sentences that you can easily use anytime. These are phrases you've practiced so often that they come out naturally without thinking. For example, can you help me with this? Or, I'm not sure. Could you explain that again? If you practice these kinds of sentences every day, you'll notice that you respond faster and more confidently in real conversations. Let's practice a few together. Repeat after me. Could you tell me how to get there? Again, could you tell me how to get there? Now faster and more natural. Could you tell me how to get there? Good. Next one. I didn't quite understand. Could you say that again? Repeat. I didn't quite understand. Could you say that again? Now faster. I didn't quite understand. Could you say that again? When you train like this, you're building speaking muscle memory. Just like athletes train their bodies to react automatically, you're training your mouth to speak English smoothly and quickly. Next, we'll focus on describing the things around you. This is a very effective habit because it forces your brain to connect real-life situations with English in real time. For example, if you're waiting at a bus stop, you might say, "A blue bus is coming down the road. It's stopping to pick up people. Passengers are getting on and off." By doing this, you're practicing observation, vocabulary, and sentence building all at once. Let's try a guided exercise. I'll describe something and you repeat after me. Imagine you're in your kitchen. There's a kettle on the stove. The water is boiling. Steam is coming out of the spout. I can hear the bubbling sound. Now think about your own kitchen. Look around and describe 3 things you see. You can start with "there is," "I see," or "I'm looking at." Try to say them out loud if you can. Another way to improve faster is by connecting new words to your personal experiences. This helps you remember them better and use them more naturally. For example, if you learn the word delighted, don't just memorize its meaning. Think of a real moment in your life. Maybe when you received a surprise gift. You could say, "I felt delighted when I opened the package and saw the book I'd wanted for months." When you connect words to real experiences, they stay in your memory longer. Now let's practice combining familiar words with new ones. For example, if you already know the word happy and you learn the word thrilled, you can practice like this. I was happy to see my friend. Then, I was thrilled to see my friend. Notice how the feeling becomes stronger. Notice how the meaning becomes stronger. When you practice this kind of variation every day, your vocabulary expands naturally, and you begin to use more colorful and expressive English. One powerful habit you can start right now is speaking continuously for 1 full minute. The topic doesn't matter. What matters is that you keep talking even if you make small mistakes along the way. For example, choose a topic like my favorite food and speak about it for 60 seconds. You could say, "My favorite food is pasta. I enjoy it because it's warm and filling and there are many different sauces you can use. I especially like tomato sauce with fresh herbs. When I was younger, my mother used to cook pasta every Sunday." By pushing yourself to continue speaking, you train your brain to keep producing words instead of stopping in the middle of a sentence. Let's try it together. I'll give you a topic and you speak for 1 minute. Your topic is, the last time you went shopping. Start with when it happened, where you went, what you bought, and how you felt. And remember, keep going. Even if you repeat some words, that's okay. Repeating is better than going silent. Before we move on, keep this in mind. Fluency is not something you achieve in one moment. It's something you build daily. Every time you speak, you strengthen your brain's connection to English. Every sentence you say brings you closer to thinking naturally in the language. The next 30 days will be your training period. So commit to practicing every single day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. You'll be surprised by how much you can improve in 1 month. Now let's focus on a skill that many learners overlook: transitions. Transitions are the small words or phrases that connect your ideas. They make your speech sound smooth and natural. Without them, your sentences can feel disconnected, like separate pieces instead of one clear message. Words like so, actually, by the way, in fact, and well may seem simple, but they are very useful. They help your listener follow your ideas, and they also give you a little extra time to think without creating awkward pauses. Let's practice. I'll give you 2 sentences and you connect them using a transition. I enjoy reading. It helps me relax. You can say, I enjoy reading because it helps me relax. Or, I enjoy reading and it helps me relax. See how the ideas connect more smoothly? Here's another one. I was tired. I kept working. You can combine them like this. Even though I was tired, I kept working. Practicing these connections will make your speech sound more natural and more polished. Here's a simple daily exercise. Take 5 random sentences and practice joining them using different connectors. For example, I need to buy milk. I want to visit my friend. You could say, I need to buy milk and after that I want to visit my friend. Or, I need to buy milk but I also want to visit my friend. The more you practice using these connectors, the more flexible and fluent your speaking will become. Another important part of your 30-day journey is learning how to control your tone. Tone is like the music of your voice. It shows whether you're excited, calm, curious, or serious. Even if your grammar is correct, speaking in a flat tone can make you sound less confident. For example, say this sentence in a flat voice. That's a great idea. Now say it with excitement. That's a great idea. You can clearly hear the difference. That's why we'll include tone practice in your routine. Let's try it now. Repeat after me with energy. I'm so happy to see you again. Again, I'm so happy to see you. Now say it in a calm and relaxed tone. I'm so happy to see you. Notice how the feeling changes depending on your tone. In real conversations, adjusting your tone helps people connect with you better. Fluency also depends on how you handle words you don't know. If you forget a word, don't stop speaking. Instead, use a simpler word or explain the idea in another way. For example, if you forget the word microwave, you can say, the machine that heats food quickly. This strategy is called circumlocution and it's very useful for keeping conversations going. Let's practice. Imagine you can't remember the word wallet. How would you describe it? You could say, it's a small thing where I keep my money and cards. You are still able to communicate your idea without using the exact word. When you practice this skill regularly, you become more confident in conversations because you'll always find a way to express your ideas, even if you don't know every word. Now let's work on something very important, your reaction speed. In real conversations, people usually expect quick answers, not long pauses. So I'm going to ask you a few simple questions and I want you to respond immediately. Your answers don't need to be long. Just answer right away. Ready? What's your favorite drink? Say your answer. Where did you go for your last vacation? Say it now. What's one activity you enjoy in your free time? Good. The more you train yourself to respond quickly, the less you'll overthink when you're speaking with others. Now here's a mindset you need to adopt. Every conversation is practice. Whether you're talking to a friend, a coworker, or even just speaking to yourself, every moment you use English helps you improve. Don't wait for the perfect time to practice. It's already happening around you. At the grocery store, with a cashier, with your neighbor, or even with someone sitting next to you on public transport. These are all real-life opportunities to build your fluency. For the rest of today, focus on one simple goal. Whenever you get a chance to speak English, take it. Even if it's just a short greeting or a quick exchange, Those small moments matter. These small wins will build up quickly over the next 30 days. Now let's move on to one of the most effective habits you can build: daily topic immersion. This means choosing one topic each day and surrounding yourself with English related to it. You read about it, watch content about it, talk about it, and even write about it. For example, if your topic is travel, you could read a short article about travel tips, watch a video about popular destinations, and then talk about your own travel experiences for a few minutes. This kind of focused practice helps your brain stay engaged and makes learning feel more intentional instead of random. Let's try a quick activity together. Today's mini topic is food. I'll ask you a few questions and you answer them out loud. What is your favorite food and why do you like it? How often do you eat it? Can you describe its taste and texture? To make this habit even more effective, keep a small notebook or use a notes app on your phone. Whenever you come across a new word related to your topic, write it down. Then use that word in a sentence at least 3 times during the day. For example, if your new word is crispy, you could say, "The fries are crispy on the outside and soft on the inside." Or, "I like my toast crispy in the morning." Repeating the word like this helps move it into your active vocabulary. Another key skill for fluency is storytelling. People naturally enjoy stories, and when you can tell one in English, you not only keep people interested, you also practice organizing your thoughts clearly. Start with simple stories from your daily life. For example, yesterday I was walking to the store when I noticed a beautiful rainbow. It was so bright and colorful that I stopped to take a photo. A little girl nearby pointed at it and smiled. This short story already includes past tense, descriptions, and a clear sequence of events, all important for fluency. Let's build a story together. I'll start. Last weekend I went to a park near my house. Now you continue. Add what you did there, who you were with, and how you felt. Try to include details like colors, sounds, and emotions. These make your story more vivid and interesting. Speaking of details, one reason some learners struggle with fluency is that they use very short and basic sentences. For example, I went to the market. I bought fruit. It was good. This is correct, but it's not very engaging. Now listen to this expanded version. I went to the market early in the morning because I wanted to buy fresh fruit. The air was cool and the smell of ripe strawberries filled the stalls. I bought a basket of strawberries, some sweet mangoes, and a bunch of bananas. Adding details like this not only makes your speech more interesting, but it also helps you practice more vocabulary and sentence patterns. Here's a simple daily exercise. Choose one thing you did today and describe it in 3 ways. Simple, detailed, and emotional. For example, simple, I went for a. Simple, I went for a walk. Detailed, I took a walk around my neighborhood this morning and noticed flowers starting to bloom. Emotional, I went for a calm walk this morning and seeing the colorful flowers made me feel relaxed and happy. Practicing like this helps you express the same idea in different ways, from simple to more expressive. Before we move on, remember to appreciate your small progress. You might not notice it every day, but it's there. That moment when you answer without translating in your head. The first time you understand a fast sentence right away. The time you tell a story and someone smiles or reacts. These are all signs that your fluency is improving, and each one matters. Now let's work on developing your listening and speaking skills at the same time. Many learners practice these separately, but combining them helps you improve much faster. One effective method is called echo practice. This means you listen to someone speak and right after they finish a short sentence, you repeat it in your own voice while copying their tone and rhythm. It's similar to shadowing but with a short pause. That pause gives you time to process what you heard before you say it. Let's try a quick exercise. I'll say a sentence, pause, and then you repeat it exactly. I'm learning new expressions every day. Now you. I enjoy practicing English in the morning. Now you. I'm becoming more confident in speaking English. Now you. Doing this for just 5 minutes a day can greatly improve your pronunciation and confidence. Another helpful habit is called question switching. This is when someone asks you a question, you answer it, and then you ask the same question back. This keeps the conversation going and gives you more chances to speak. For example, if someone asks, "How was your weekend?" you can say, "It was great, thanks. How about yours?" This shows interest and also doubles your speaking time in one interaction. Let's practice. I'll ask you a question. You answer, then ask me the same question. What do you usually eat for breakfast? You answer, then ask me. When was the last time you traveled? You answer, then ask me. What's your favorite hobby? You answer, then ask me. The more you practice this, the more natural it will feel to keep conversations flowing. Fluency also improves when you use reaction phrases. Short, natural responses you can say instantly. Examples include, "Really? That's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Exactly. I see what you mean." These phrases help you sound engaged and give you time to think about what to say next. Let's practice. Repeat after me with a natural tone. "Really? That's interesting. I see what you mean. Exactly." Now imagine someone says, "I just learned how to cook pasta." You can respond right away, "Really? That's great." These small reactions make your English sound more natural and less robotic. Next, we'll practice paraphrasing, saying the same idea in a different way. This is a powerful skill because it helps you keep speaking even when you forget a specific word. For example, if someone says, "I had a tough day at work," you could respond with, "So, it was a stressful day for you," or, "It sounds like your day was challenging." When you practice paraphrasing, you learn to express more ideas using the words you already know. Let's try an exercise. I'll give you a sentence and you say it in a different way. "I'm very tired." You could say, "I feel exhausted." "I'm worn out." "I don't have much energy left." Now another one. "The movie was good." You could say, "I really enjoyed it." "It was entertaining." "It was worth watching." Try to come up with as many variations as you can for each idea. Finally, let's focus on expressing feelings and opinions. When you talk about how you feel, conversations become more meaningful. Instead of just saying, "I like it," explain your reason. For example, "I like this cafe because the atmosphere is relaxing and the coffee tastes fresh." Adding reasons makes your sentences longer, more detailed, and more engaging, giving your listener a clearer picture of what you mean. This gives you more opportunities to practice speaking. One of the best ways to improve your fluency is by practicing different time frames. Being able to talk comfortably about the past, present, and future makes you more flexible in any conversation. For the past, you can say something like, "Yesterday I went to the park and met an old friend." For the present, "I'm sitting at my desk right now listening to music." For the future, "Tomorrow I'm going to visit my cousin in another city." Switching between these quickly is excellent practice for your brain. Let's try it together. I'll give you an action and you say it in all 3 time frames. Cook dinner. Past, "I cooked dinner last night." Present, "I'm cooking dinner right now." Future, "I'm going to cook dinner tomorrow evening." Exercises like this help you stay flexible with grammar and ready for real conversations. Another important skill is turning short answers into complete responses. If someone asks, "Do you like reading?" you could just say yes, but that stops the conversation. Instead, you can say, "Yes, I enjoy reading because it helps me relax and learn new things." When you add reasons, details, and examples, you naturally speak for longer and sound more fluent. Let's practice. I'll ask you a question and you answer with at least 2 extra details. Do you enjoy cooking? Have you ever traveled abroad? What kind of music do you like? Take a moment to think, but don't wait too long. Let your ideas come out even if you make small mistakes. Another key skill for this 30-day journey is learning how to correct yourself smoothly. If you make a mistake, don't stop completely. Just say the correct version and continue speaking. For example, if you say, "She go to the market yesterday," you can quickly fix it, "She went to the market yesterday." This shows awareness without interrupting your flow. The more you practice this, the more natural your corrections will become. Here's a quick exercise. Speak for 1 minute about any topic. Every time you notice a mistake, correct it immediately and continue. You'll be surprised how fast your brain learns to catch and fix errors on its own. Another habit to develop is speaking with emotion and personal connection. Think about how you talk to a close friend. You don't just list facts. You add feelings and small details that make your story interesting. For example, I went to the park and the sun was shining so brightly. I felt really happy just sitting on the grass and watching the birds fly around. This style of speaking makes your English more engaging and memorable. Finally, challenge yourself to speak longer over time. If you can talk for 1 minute today, aim for 2 minutes next week, then 3. It doesn't have to be perfect. The goal is to slowly push your limits. After 30 days, you'll notice that speaking for 5 minutes in English feels natural, and that's a big step toward fluency. One habit that can speed up your progress is thinking out loud in English. This means saying your thoughts as they come, almost like narrating your day. For example, if you're walking somewhere, you can say, I'm walking down the street. The weather feels warm today. I can smell fresh bread from the bakery nearby. This trains your brain to form sentences instantly, without translating from your first language. If you're in a place where you can't speak out loud, you can still do this silently in your mind. Describe what you see, what you feel, or what you plan to do next. For example, after this, I'm going to call my friend. I need to buy vegetables for dinner. I should check my emails before lunch. Over time, this habit will make English your natural way of thinking. Another powerful technique is what I call expand and extend. You start with a simple sentence and gradually add more information. For example, I like coffee. Then expand it. I like coffee because it helps me feel more awake in the morning. And then you can continue building from there. Now let's take it a step further. I like coffee because it helps me wake up in the morning, and I enjoy the rich smell that fills the kitchen while it's brewing. When you build your sentences like this, you train yourself to speak longer without stopping. Let's practice a few more. Start with, I enjoy music. Expand it. I enjoy music because it helps me relax. Now extend it. I enjoy music because it helps me relax after a long day, and it reminds me of good times I've shared with my friends. This exercise may seem simple, but doing it consistently will quickly improve your fluency. Another thing to pay attention to is how native speakers use fillers. Fillers are small words or sounds like and actually, they give you a moment to think without completely stopping your speech. For example, well, I think we should begin now. That movie was better than I expected. Actually, I've never tried that before. These make your speech sound more natural, but don't rely on them too much. Let's practice using fillers. I'll give you a sentence and you add a filler at the beginning. It's raining today. Add well at the start. I like reading books. Add at the start. I don't have time for that. Add actually at the start. This will help you use fillers naturally when you need a short pause to think. Another useful technique is changing the length of your sentences. If all your sentences are short, your speech can feel broken. If they're all long, it can become hard to follow. The key is to mix both. For example, short, I love traveling. Long, I love traveling because it allows me to experience new cultures, meet different people, and try a variety of foods. This variation keeps your listener interested. Here's a challenge for today. Record yourself speaking about any topic for 2 minutes. When you listen to it, pay attention to your pauses, your tone, and your speed. Notice if you're using fillers, if your sentences are complete, and if you sound engaged. Then record yourself again on the same topic, but this time try to improve just one thing. This kind of self-review helps you become aware of your habits and improve faster. Another powerful way to improve is through role play. Role-playing allows you to practice real-life situations before they actually happen. You can act out scenarios like a job interview, ordering food, casual conversation, or making a phone call. For example, if you're practicing ordering food, you might say, "Good evening. I'd like to order the grilled chicken with vegetables, please." Then imagine the server asking, "Would you like something to drink?" And you reply, "Yes, I'll have a glass of water, thank you." Practicing these situations helps you feel more prepared in real life. Let's try one together. Imagine you're at an airport check-in counter. The staff says, "May I see your passport, please?" You respond, "Yes, here it is." Then they ask, "Would you prefer a window seat or an aisle seat?" You answer, "I'd like a window seat, please." The more you practice these everyday situations, the more natural your responses will become. Another skill to develop is asking follow-up questions. Many learners answer questions but don't continue the conversation. For example, if someone says, "I went to the beach last weekend," you can respond with interest, "Oh really? Which beach did you go to?" Or, "That sounds nice. Was the weather good?" Follow-up questions give you more speaking practice and make you sound more engaged. To practice this, take any sentence you hear and think of 2 questions you can ask about it. For example, "I bought a new phone." You could ask, "What kind of phone is it? Why did you choose that one?" Doing this regularly will make your conversations more natural and interactive. Fluency also depends on rhythm, the natural flow of how you speak. English has a pattern where some words are stressed and others are softer. Practicing this rhythm will make your speech smoother and easier to understand. For example, say, "I'm going to the store to buy some milk." Notice which words are stronger. Going, store, buy, milk. Now try it yourself. Repeating it while keeping the same stress and emphasis. Here's another rhythm exercise. She's working on a big project at the office. Focus on the stressed words. Working, big project, office. This kind of practice helps you develop a natural English rhythm instead of sounding flat or mechanical. It's also useful to learn how to pause politely when you need time to think. Instead of staying silent, you can use phrases like, "That's an interesting question, let me think for a second." Or, my guess. These expressions give you time to organize your thoughts while keeping the conversation smooth. Let's try it. I'll ask you a question, and before you answer, start with a polite pause phrase. What is your favorite vacation spot? You might begin with, "That's a great question. I think my favorite vacation spot is." This makes you sound more natural and confident while giving you a moment to think. Now remember, fluency is not about being perfect. It's about communicating clearly and feeling relaxed while speaking. Even native speakers pause, correct themselves, or change their words mid-sentence. What matters most is that they keep talking. In the next few days, try not to over-focus on grammar. Focus more on expressing your ideas. Accuracy will improve naturally through repetition and practice. One powerful technique for sounding more natural is mirroring. Mirroring means copying not just the words but also the tone, rhythm, and even the energy of the speaker. If you're practicing alone, you can mirror audio or video clips. For example, if you hear someone say, "I can't believe it's already Friday," you repeat it using the same speed, tone, and emotion. This helps you absorb the natural flow of English, not just the vocabulary. Let's practice a few. I'll say them and you repeat. "That's incredible. I didn't see that coming. I'm really looking forward to it." Try to match both pronunciation and emotion. Another important skill is adjusting your speech style depending on the situation. In casual settings, you might say, "Hey, what's up?" But in a more formal situation, you could say, "Good morning, how are you today?" Being able to switch between styles shows flexibility and awareness of context. Let's compare. Informal, "I'm gonna grab a coffee." Formal, "I'm going to get a coffee." Informal, "Wanna hang out later?" Formal, "Would you like to meet later?" Practicing these shifts prepares you for different social situations. Another way to improve fluency is by fully answering why and how questions. Many learners give very short replies, but expanding your answer helps you sound more fluent. For example, "Why do you like living here?" "I like living here because the weather is pleasant and there are many parks to relax in." "How do you usually spend your weekends?" I usually spend my weekends reading, going for walks, and meeting friends for coffee. Adding more details naturally extends your speaking time and makes your ideas clearer. We should also focus on pronunciation practice. Spend a few minutes daily working on difficult sounds, especially the th sound. For think, place your tongue lightly between your teeth and push air out. For this, keep the same position but add your voice. Small pronunciation improvements make a big difference in clarity. Let's do a quick drill. Repeat after me. Think thought through. Now. This, that, these, those. And slowly. Thin things. Start slowly, then gradually increase speed until it feels natural. And don't forget, fluency improves when speaking and listening work together. When you listen to native speakers, pay attention to useful phrases and try to reuse them in your own speech. If you hear something like, "I've been meaning to try that," write it down and practice using it later in your own sentences. This habit keeps your English fresh, natural, and up to date. To finish this section, set a small goal for today. Choose one phrase you learned here and use it in a real sentence before the day ends. At least 3 times during real conversations or while practicing on your own. This helps move those phrases from passive understanding into active use so you don't just recognize them, you actually use them naturally. One of the most powerful skills for fast fluency development is describing events from memory. When you recall past experiences and explain them in English, you train your brain to organize thoughts without translating from your first language. Start with simple moments. A conversation you had, a meal you enjoyed, or a place you visited, then describe it in detail. For example, last Sunday I went to my favorite cafe. I ordered a cappuccino along with a slice of chocolate cake. The place was quite busy, and the sound of people talking created a warm, lively atmosphere. I sat near the window and watched the rain falling outside. This kind of mental replay is an excellent way to combine vocabulary, grammar, and storytelling all at once. You can make this exercise even more powerful by describing the same memory in different levels. First, keep it basic, then make it more detailed. Finally, add emotions and personal opinions. For example, I went to the cafe. I went to the cafe on Sunday morning and had coffee. I went to the cafe on Sunday morning, enjoyed a warm cappuccino, and felt calm and relaxed while watching the rain outside. Doing this regularly will help your thoughts flow more naturally in English. Another helpful habit is practicing comparisons. This means talking about how 2 things are similar or different. For example, tea and coffee are both popular drinks, but tea is lighter in taste while coffee is stronger and more intense. Comparing things helps you practice structure, adjectives, and gives you more content to speak about. Let's try a quick comparison exercise. Compare summer and winter. Summer is hot and bright and people spend more time outdoors, while winter is colder and people usually stay inside more often. Now compare books and movies. Books let you imagine scenes in your mind while movies show the story visually. You can do this with almost anything: food, cities, hobbies, or even personality traits. It's also important to practice giving explanations instead of short answers. For example, if someone asks, "Do you like swimming?" Instead of just saying yes, you can say, "Yes, I like swimming because it keeps me healthy and I really enjoy being in the water, especially during hot weather." When you explain your answers, your speech becomes richer and more interesting. And when explaining, try to include examples whenever possible. For instance, I think learning English through movies is very effective because you hear real-life conversations. For example, I learned the phrase, "take your time," from a film, and now I use it in daily life. Examples help your listener understand your point more clearly and make your speaking stronger. Another useful technique is what I call the what-if exercise. Ask yourself imaginary questions and answer them out loud. For example, what if I won the lottery? If I won the lottery, I would travel around the world, buy a house near the beach, and support my family. These kinds of questions push you to think creatively in English and use different grammar structures naturally. Finally, always remember that fluency in 30 days comes from consistent and focused practice. You don't need hours every day. Even 20 to 30 minutes of speaking, listening, and thinking in English can create noticeable improvement. The more you include English in your daily routine, the more natural it will start to feel. Another simple but powerful habit is retelling information in your own words. This could be a news story, something you heard in a conversation, or a scene from a movie. When you retell it, you process the information, organize it mentally, and express it using your own vocabulary. For example, if you read a short article about healthy eating, you could say, "The article explained the benefits of eating fresh fruits and vegetables every day. It explained that these foods help boost energy, strengthen the body, and lower the chances of getting sick. It also recommended drinking enough water throughout the day." This kind of activity improves both your understanding and your speaking ability at the same time. You can take it a step further by retelling the same information from a different point of view. For example, instead of reporting it, you can turn it into a personal statement. "I eat fresh fruits and vegetables every day because they give me energy, keep my body strong, and help reduce the risk of illness. I also make sure to drink plenty of water." This variation helps you become more flexible with sentence structure and trains you to adjust language on the spot. A similar habit you can build is summarizing your day before going to bed. For example, "This morning I woke up early, prepared breakfast, and went for a walk. In the afternoon I worked on my project and made a few phone calls. In the evening I relaxed with a book before dinner." This simple routine helps you practice everyday vocabulary while also strengthening your memory and storytelling skills. Another powerful exercise is opinion speaking. Pick any topic and speak for 1 full minute, giving your opinion and supporting reasons. For example, "I believe people should read more books because reading improves focus, builds knowledge, and strengthens the mind. In my opinion, it's much more beneficial than spending too much time on social media." Doing this regularly helps you respond faster and more confidently to open-ended questions. You can also combine opinion practice with light debate training. Imagine someone disagrees with you and respond politely. For example, if someone says, "I think social media is better than reading books," you could reply, "I see your point, but I believe books offer deeper understanding and stronger focus compared to social media." This helps you stay calm, express disagreement respectfully, and choose your words carefully. Another useful technique is step-by-step explanation. For example, explaining how to make tea. "First I boil water in a kettle. Then I place a tea bag into a cup. When the water is ready, I pour it in and let it steep for a few minutes. After that, I remove the tea bag and add sugar or milk if I want." Explaining processes like this helps you organize your thoughts in sequence, which is very important for fluent speaking. And don't forget self-motivation. Remind yourself daily why you want to improve your English, whether it's for work, travel, studying abroad, or connecting with new people. Keeping your reason in mind gives you consistency, especially on days when you feel tired or unmotivated. Another effective way to improve fluency is describing images or real-life scenes. Look at a picture and describe everything you see in detail. For example, there is a family having a picnic in the park. The parents are sitting on a blanket, smiling, while the children are playing with a ball nearby. The sun is bright and tall trees surround the area. This trains your brain to notice details quickly and turn them into clear sentences. To make it more advanced, add a story behind the image. "I think this family is celebrating a special occasion, maybe a birthday. They likely brought homemade food and drinks. The children look especially happy, probably because they don't often get the chance to play outside together." This encourages imagination, which expands your vocabulary and sentence range. Another great exercise is time speaking. Set a timer for 2 to 3 minutes and speak continuously about any topic. Your weekend, your favorite meal, or something you recently learned. The goal is to keep talking without stopping to translate or overthink grammar. If you forget a word, simply replace it with a simpler one or explain it in another way. With regular practice, this builds the habit of continuous speech, which is essential for fluency. You can also level up your speaking by practicing contrasts. Describe two contrasting ideas and move between them. For example, in a busy city, everything feels fast and loud. People are always rushing and traffic fills the streets. In contrast, in the countryside, life feels calm and slow. You can hear nature clearly and people often have more time to connect with each other. Switching between these kinds of descriptions helps your brain organize thoughts more quickly and clearly in English. Another essential skill is improving your listening memory. Try listening to a short dialogue, then repeat as much as you can remember. For example, if you hear, "I'm heading to the shop to pick up some vegetables. Do you want anything?" You could respond, "You said you're going to the shop to buy vegetables and you asked if I needed anything." This strengthens both your understanding and recall, helping you respond faster and more accurately in real conversations. And always remember, fluency comes from consistency, not perfection. It's not about long, perfect study sessions. It's about showing up every day to speak, listen, and think in English. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of focused practice daily can lead to noticeable improvement over time. In 30 days, you'll be surprised at how much more naturally you can express yourself. Another useful technique is speaking under time pressure. Set a short timer and answer a question quickly. For example, set 30 seconds and answer, "What did you do yesterday?" Then repeat the same question for 1 minute, adding more detail each time. The time limit pushes your brain to think faster, while repetition helps you expand your ideas more naturally. You can also combine this with question cycling. Pick 3 questions and answer them one after another without long pauses. For example, "What's your favorite food?" "My favorite food is pasta because it's comforting, easy to prepare, and I can change the recipe in different ways." "What do you usually do on weekends?" "On weekends I usually sleep in a bit, take a walk outside and meet friends for coffee." "Where would you like to travel next?" "I'd love to visit Japan because of its culture, food, and beautiful scenery." Practicing like this gives you fast-paced speaking training and keeps your mind active in English. Another powerful exercise is story chaining. Start with a simple idea and gradually expand it by adding more details step by step. For example, "I went to the park." "I went to the park yesterday afternoon." "I went to the park yesterday afternoon to meet a friend." "I went to the park yesterday afternoon to meet a friend because we hadn't seen each other in a long time." This helps you naturally extend your thoughts instead of stopping too early. It's also helpful to practice describing your surroundings spontaneously. Wherever you are, start speaking about what you see, hear, or feel. For example, "I'm sitting at my desk. There's a cup of tea beside my laptop. I can hear a car passing outside. The room feels warm and quiet." This trains you to form sentences instantly based on real-time situations, just like in actual conversations. Don't forget to include emotional language in your speaking. Words like amazing, frustrating, peaceful, and exciting make your speech more expressive. Instead of saying, "The view was nice," you could say, "The view was breathtaking and made me feel completely at peace." The more you use emotional vocabulary, the more engaging and natural your English will sound. To wrap up this practice, remember that fluency in 30 days depends on 3 key habits: speaking often, listening actively, and thinking in English whenever possible. Every time you choose English instead of silence or translation, you move one step closer to your goal. Keep showing up, keep practicing, and in just 1 month you'll notice a big difference in how easily you express yourself. Before we finish, take a moment to think about how much you can improve in 30 days if you stay consistent. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up daily, speaking a little more, listening a little more, and letting English become part of your routine. Even small actions matter. Ordering food, greeting someone, or describing your day out loud to yourself. These small moments turn into habits, and those habits lead to real fluency. Start challenging yourself today. Speak at least 1 sentence in English to someone. Listen to a short clip and repeat it out loud. Describe something around you in detail. Keep stacking these small actions every day, and you'll notice your confidence growing, your sentences flowing more smoothly, and your thoughts forming faster in English. If you enjoyed this masterclass and want more lessons like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the daily English lessons that will guide you step by step toward fluency. Also press the bell icon so you get notified whenever a new lesson is uploaded. Thank you for practicing with me today. I really appreciate the effort you're putting into improving your English. Keep going, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, take care, and keep speaking English every single day.